Welcome to the Taste of New York. I'm Jon Haggins, and I'm sitting here in this wonderful restaurant, Woo, which is unbelievable Korean food. Imagine that. And I'm sitting with Julie Choi, and she is absolutely wonderful. Julie Choi, I am so excited to be introduced to Korean cuisine. You know, I watched the chef prepare some of the most beautiful dishes. The bouquet was extraordinary, and we're here at Woo Restaurant.
Oh, welcome.
And let's talk about what we have in front of us.
Well, this is probably the most famous part of Korean cuisine. It's the Korean barbecue. So all of our tables have the grill, and you get to cook the meat at your table.
Wow.
It's very interactive, and it's, again, we try to stress the importance of healthy. So it's also very, it's a fun experience.
And you know, a lot of New Yorkers are really not that familiar with sit down, relax, the whole experience of having Korean food, and you can come here and have that, and I think it's different from a fast food restaurant.
Definitely something different. It's the interactive part of it. You get to see, smell, touch, feel. So I think it's very unique to our cuisine.
And I think the fact that you're doing it yourself, so you can get it at the preparation that you want, whether you want medium, or if you want rare or whatever. And I think it's very personalized. So tell me, what do we have on this plate?
So on this plate we have the pork belly and then the kalbi, which is probably the most famous and well-known piece of meat. It's a boneless beef short rib, and it's perfectly marbled. It's tender, it's juicy, it's the perfect cut of meat.
So do you prepare that here in terms of the way it's cut?
We do, and then we have a lot of restaurants do overnight or a few day marinades. Ours is a fresh marinade, so we like to have the ingredients speak for themselves. So what we do is our signature sauce is soy, garlic, sesame, and a few other secret ingredients.
The ingredients that you use are very natural, flavorful, and also very healthy.
I'm going to start the grill with the beef short rib.
Okay.
And the cooking temperature, it depends on the cut of meat. This one takes about 2 minutes on each side.
Right.
And then I'll get the pork belly on this side.
So when the customer comes in, they have this whole experience, and you show them how to do this.
We do. We start them out, but then most people know how to.
You know, it's really quick. I mean, my God, it's like a minute. It's ready.
It is. This one takes a little bit longer because it is on the thicker side,
Right.
and you want to render the fat out a little bit on both of these.
Right.
Then you get that perfect char, and you still get that smoky flavor.
What I see are 3 different colors in the meat. What does that mean?
Well, in Korean, this cut is called samgyeopsal, meaning 3 different fleshes. So it will be the meat, the fat, and the skin.
And then it just turns white and beautiful. And you have the markings of the grill, which is fantastic. Jon Haggins, The Globetrotter, is like no other travel book in the world. When I think of travel, I think of friends from around the world. I've traveled to Malaysia, Thailand, India, everywhere. You're going to absolutely love the book. And the recipes, you will whet your appetite with these incredible aromatic recipes. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel. I am so excited to be here at Woo Restaurant with Ele, and he is the great chef of this wonderful restaurant. And you know, it's my introduction to Korean food, and I think all of New York should know about it. So he's going to prepare some dishes. So what are we going to do?
Okay, first of all, we're going to do the scallion pancake, which in Korean we call pajan. It's kind of frittata. The flour, as I say, is already made. Here you go, and then it's 3 different flours. The Japanese tempura flour,
Right.
the all-purpose flour, and then the potato starch. Mix them together, then seasoning with Korean spices. This is already done.
Wow.
So once this is done, we need a little bit of red bell pepper,
Right.
a little bit of the green peppers,
Right.
and then here is what I'm talking about. This is already pre-mixed calamari and then
my
baby
God.
shrimps. Then you can do with a measuring cups, or you can do by your hands. But since I've been doing this for so long, I know the amount that I need of the already pre-mixed flour, which is a 1/4 cup that I needed for one individual frittata or one individual pancake.
My God, how fantastic.
And then we also need 1 egg.
And these are very simple dishes to prepare that don't take a long time.
Yes. As I say, it's not going to take more than 5 minutes to do it. It's like making a pancake base, basically. So once it's mixing, we just add a little of the green onions, as you see, white and
Beautiful.
green part,
Beautiful.
and then mix it up together. Then now we have our mix already. Then we go into the hot line. Add a little corn oil or canola oil, depends on your preference. Oil of oil is not a choice because it will burn very quickly and it's gonna be dark color. We don't want that. So once we heat the pan for like a half minute, 30 seconds, then we put our mixture. And then just split around because we want round and then beautiful scallion pancake. It's gonna take us about 5 minutes to prepare this dish. Now for the presentation, it's up on people's preference. If you have this kind of stone plate, we can heat up the stone plate for like a 2 minutes to make the scallion pancake be warm when people eat it.
How fantastic. I love this quick food. It's wonderful.
This is what we're looking for.
Oh
Nice
my
color.
God, how beautiful.
And then just drizzle a little more oil to finish the cooking process.
Is that to keep it from sticking?
Yes, but the pen the pen is gonna helping a lot because it's non-stick pen. And then this one is a gray snack or gray appetizer.
Right. And you have this as a bar food, for instance, when people are drinking?
Exactly. And then if it's a busy time, a professional cook to be able to flip it too at the same time. We want crispy on the outside and then moist inside.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the reason it has to be cooked on the high heat.
Okay.
This plate is hot already.
Right. Oh my God.
So this is done. As you see, it's nice and crispy. And then now, we will cut it.
Oh, you use a scissor rather than a
We
knife.
use scissors because if we're using a knife, the knife is not gonna cut the green onions.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
And you have to watch your fingers for sure.
yes. But once you have a practice, it's okay. So this is the payan, the
That is
scallion pancake.
beautiful.
And then this one is going to eat with a special sauce that we made it in the house. Is component of 3 vegetables, carrot, onions, a Spanish onion and then green onions, and then mixed with the soy sauce and another seasoning. Our next dish is called chapchae, which is a glass noodles, assorted glass noodles making on the wok with assorted vegetables. It's more healthier. Why? It using less oil, and then using this component, which is not a regular flour noodles. This is a potato noodle, and then is more healthier, of course, than regular flour noodles. This is the Asian oyster mushrooms. This is already washed, and then the red bell peppers is already sliced also. And then here we have 3 component vegetables. One is cabbage, just the regular cabbage, a carrot, and then the green onions. And then we need about this one, about 1 handle to 1 others. 1 handle is similar to 1 cup, or in this case, about 3 ounces of the pre-made vegetables.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you saying that Korean food is more healthier than Chinese food or no?
Yeah, I have a respect for all the cuisine, but in this case, I can say proudly yes. Then once we have the vegetable ready, the noodle is already blanched, so we go into the wok section. Drizzle a little oil, then add a little ground garlic, then put the vegetables, add a little stock, any stock that you have at home, for water.
Is that like chicken stock?
Anything, anything will be work. It's just to soften up the vegetables.
Okay.
So cooking for 1 minute the vegetable, then add 1 handle of the previous already cooked potato noodles. Then add a teaspoon of sugar, pinch sesame seed, pinch of ground black pepper, a little bit of dashi.
What is that again?
Dashi, they call dashi, but it's actually beef consomme. Then mix it up together. And then you can tell when the chapchae is already cooked, all the vegetables with the noodles is starting to combine together.
And they soften.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the time when you know your chapchae is done. And this is done.
There's something about Asian food in general. It's always a great presentation. It's very pretty to look at and delicious to eat.
Yeah, because we believe in that we are starting to eat with the eyes. Our next dish is called Tolso bibimbap. It means a hot bibimbap. Most Americans, they already know the bibimbap dish, but the bibimbap dish is more like a rice salad. This one, what is different about this one, so it's made on the hot stone ball. After 5 minutes on the stove, it will make a rice crust. And then that's something that people love it.
Oh, yes.
The crispiness, and then the taste is totally different. We drizzle a little sesame oil in the pan. The oil will helping to making the rice crust more quickly. So once we drizzle the sesame oil on the stone balls,
Right.
we're gonna add the rice. Maybe everybody knows how to make in Korean rice. If you don't know, the machine will do for you.
Is that like sticky rice?
It's sticky rice, exactly.
Yeah.
The same sushi rice. And then you just put 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water, and then you click the button and let it cook for 26 minutes and your rice will be done. We have a zucchini. This zucchini is just julienne of zucchini and then saute on the pan with the salt and pepper. Very simple. We have a bean sprout, which is already blanched and seasoning with the salt, pepper, and then sesame seeds. We have a daikon radish. This one has the same ingredient, except that this have chili flakes, as you say, it's a red color.
So it's a little spicy?
A little, but not too much.
Ah. So in general, is Korean food spicy or not so?
In general, Korean cooking is spicy, but one thing that I realized 30 years ago when I started this journey, that the chili of Korea is much less spicy than Thailand or than the jalapeno and habanero, for instance.
Yeah.
So much less spicy than that. It is a spiciness that doesn't bother in your palate.
Right.
So here is blanched spinach, and then this guy is basically Korean watergrass.
Oh.
The brown color vegetables is Korean watergrass. And as I say, I have 5 vegetables here, and then I have a fresh carrot to make the number 6 vegetable. It's component of 6 vegetables, this item. And then how do you know that it's done? Because the rice will starting to make a noise, exactly like
Pop,
when you
pop,
go
pop.
into the movie theater. Exactly, when you go into the movie theater, you will hear the sound pop, 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 pop. That means it's done.
Oh, okay. And do you have to flip this or just leave it as
No,
it is?
just leave it in the way it is.
And the rice is
now,
on the bottom?
once you have this on the flame, you have the decision on your own. You want to add a meat, you want to add a fried egg. Traditionally, they eat this with a raw egg on the center here, the raw yolk egg. Korean cuisine is very known about this kind of equipment. Since they never was exposed about other countries, so they never was colonized by other countries.
Right.
Their cuisine is 100% pure. We have a wood base, but you can use a ceramic plate as a base
Right.
to put this pot, but it has to be really thick. Otherwise,
It burns the table.
It will break.
Yeah.
It
right.
will break because this heat is really similar to the wok, 500 degrees.
This is 500.
Yes,
Oh.
once doing a lot of pop-ups is about 500 degrees.
Wow.
It's a simple cooking,
Right.
and
healthy.
healthy, which is the most important.
Absolutely.
We're not using a lot of fat,
Right.
and then we're not using a grease food at all.
Do you use pork at all?
Yeah, but it has to be very lean.
Yeah, very lean.
We have a couple pork dishes, but it has to be very lean.
Yeah, right. Okay. But primarily, what would be the meats that you would use? Chicken?
We use chicken,
And
yes.
beef?
We using beef,
Right.
all the different cuts, ribeye.
Right. What about lamb? Do you,
Boneless chorizo, we do lamb also
Right.
in barbecue section, you will see lamb there.
Right, okay.
So we have a whole variety, but the key point is it has to be very, our ribeye is lean 100%, no
Right.
fat at all.
But primarily it's more vegetarian rather than
Exactly.
the meats.
Beside the barbecue, the traditional Korean food is more vegetarian, less meat, and then more vegetables.
Healthier.
Also using laro tofu.
Yeah.
Laro tofu, which is a vegetable, using laro bean sprout, which is a healthy because it has a lot of protein,
Right.
and it's a vegetable.
What is actually tofu?
Tofu is a soybean cheese, simple as that.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't prep, but I can make it for you next time. It's easy to do it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Once you have the milk from the soybeans,
Yeah.
it will take 3 minutes to make in tofu.
I never knew what it was. I always thought it was just fake food.
No, it's not.
That's beautiful. I love all the colors and the way you prepared all the food. Very simple, and yet
Yes.
it's flavorful, and the aroma, the bouquet, which is fantastic.
Exactly. It's like a symphony
Yes.
of the flavor and colors.
I love that. That's fabulous. A
Yes.
symphony of all the flavors and colors. That's
yes.
fabulous.
This is what it is about
It's
the
an
Korean
orchestra.
cuisine. It is an orchestra. So this guy now papas more, and this is done. So
Okay.
as I say, we need a wooden base, or we need a very thick porcelain base to put it because this
Right.
is really hot. You can see the smoke now.
Yes.
And this is one of the main ingredients on the Korean cooking.
Now, do you put
this is a red, very tiny red chili, and then they dry out for a long time on the sun.
Right.
Then later they grind it, and then they convert it into the paste. Once the paste is done, we can prep in this in the way we want.
Mm-hmm.
This one, we have to add sugar, but I decide for not to using sugar, I using a natural honey just to killing a little bit of the spiciness.
Right.
And then other ingredients such as any Asian red wine, we can put it in this.
Right.
And then it has a little bit of 7-Up, of course, as I say, to killing a little bit of the spiciness.
7-Up?
7-Up,
The soda?
yes.
Oh, how odd.
And then this is the sauce that we're combining with this dish. Depends on people preference. Some people like very spicy, some people not. So that's why we have to asking them before mixing always, how do you like your torso bibimbap?
Right.
Very spicy or just medium? Most of the people say medium spicy. See?
It's still cooking.
This is the sound that we want. Because the stone ball is very hot, and this is the torso bibimbap. I hope you guys enjoy,
Wonderful.
and then you like it, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Chasing Wild Ass. Oh, it's not what you're thinking. It's a narrative of my travel around the world. I have interspersed photos and aromatic recipes, which allows you to dream, discover, and rediscover these great destinations around the world. The title of the book came about while we were chasing jackasses in Kutch Wild Ass Sanctuary in Gujarat, India. And I thought that was a great title for the book. This is food for the soul. Not only does it allow you to dream, it's adventure, it's history, it's culinary, it's culture, with a sense of humor to spice it up. Chasing Wild Ass is a celebration of life. You have to live each day as if it's your last. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel. You know, I understand your family's been in the restaurant business for a long, long, long time.
It happened. My grandmother actually started the restaurant in the 1946. So we're the third, and then my mother took over, and then it's me. So I'm the third generation, I guess, female owner. So I
And
think
that's in New York?
It's in New York, Los Angeles.
And you still have them, the restaurants in Los Angeles?
Well, no, we found that it was a little too hard to commute back and forth on the West Coast. So now we're just primarily East Coast based.
Oh, wonderful. I am so excited to meet you and to learn about all of this wonderful food.
Thank you for coming.
And
So,
I say bouquet, it's like a flower, but it's the essence of the flavors are just absolutely amazing. They're magical and so simple to prepare. Let's see, we have some other things here. We have mushrooms. We have, what do we have here? Zucchini.
the mushrooms, the shiitake mushrooms, we have Korean pine mushrooms, baby corn, carrots, just root vegetables, things that we think would go well with the barbecue.
Right.
So basically, everything kind of centers around the meat. So
Right.
you have your rice dish on the side, you have your soup on the side, And you have your lettuce wrap. So this is what we're gonna get a piece of meat. And then you're gonna put it, we call this panchan, so they're Korean side dishes. So they're little pickled things, little spicy. So it depends on what you'd like.
What's spicy, by the way?
These three would be spicy. This is a miso paste. It's like the salt factor because the meat is the marinades on the sweeter side.
Right.
So you put a little bit of the miso paste
Right.
and whatever condiments you wanted to do. If you wanted to put a little rice on it, it's totally up to you.
Just little.
It is all salty.
If it's salty, I don't do a lot of salt generally, so you know, it's just one of those things. I'm more pepper, spicy, hot, you know, which I love. And
then this is kimchi. This is
oh,
pickled cabbage. I know you're not quite fond of this one.
well, I will try it again. And do I roll this in?
It is. It's going to be like a little lettuce wrap. So then you grab whatever condiment you wanted,
Oh, nice.
and then
This is really an experience. I think for any family or friends who come here, just to have this experience. Oh, I think I have too much. Oops. Oh well. And then all I have to do is just wrap it in the lettuce. And you do this with your hands,
you
which is
do.
wonderful.
You got to get in there.
Yeah. Got to get it all in there. Oop. Oh my God, so great. And so simple. Very interesting, the condiments. So how long have you been in the business? I know your grandmother's been in the business.
Well, I grew up in the restaurant, so I think at 4 years old they started letting me scoop rice for the customers. And I lived in the restaurant. I grew up there. I remember the waitresses would take me into the freezer and feed me ice cream. And I started cashiering when I was about 8 years old.
Oh my God.
And then, so I worked in the I've not worked in the restaurant, but I grew up there. I would spend all my free time there. But I didn't start really working until maybe I finished college. But we had the restaurant in Soho when I was working there when I was about 16. So I was helping out the pastry chef, and then I decided, oh my God, I really want to be a chef. So then I went to culinary school after that, and then hotel management school, and then I came back, and then I've been running it since.
So do they have restaurant schools for Korean food?
No, they don't. I went to a French culinary school because we like to get like the basic flavors of Korean cuisine, but prepare them in a more modern preparation.
This is absolutely delicious. I can't believe it. And the condiments are just amazing. And the kimchi, you know, I'm not objecting to it today. It's totally different from what I had before.
Ours is a little bit more on the toned down side. My mom, the way that she created our cuisine was the way that she likes to eat Korean food. So she grew up with eating very Western foods. So she would have pastries for breakfast as opposed to traditional Korean soups.
Right.
So all of the food that we have here is kind of designed to be less pungent, I would say, and like less, it's not offensive, but...
Well, that was the thing that I found before when I had the kimchi, that it was offensive or pungent. I understand you have tradition, well, I think it's sort of a house drink, which is the lychee martini or cocktail.
We do. It's on the sweeter side, so it is our most popular cocktail. It's vodka with a little bit of lychee, pineapple, and cassis berry. So all of our cocktails have kind of an Asian theme, so we try to use Asian ingredients with, you know, tequila, vodka, and try to mix it up seasonally.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait to taste one. My God, it looks like a cosmopolitan. Cheers. Nice.
It's refreshing.
How did you go about choosing this location?
Our original location was in Midtown 46, but my mother really liked the feel of Soho, the downtown vibe. So when we reopened, the first one burned down.
Oh,
And then
no.
the second one, we opened on Mercer Street, and this was before Soho was, you know, before all the, exactly, it was in the late 90s. So it was pretty much warehouses and, you know, all the empty gallery space.
I remember it.
And then we were there, and then all of those stores popped up, and we just, you know, we have a very neighborhood. It's It's a neighborhood restaurant, so a lot of the families that we know, they came back to this location. So we've been looking for, we closed the Soho location 7 years ago, and we've been looking for a space in Soho, and we found this one here. So we love Soho.
It's beautiful. It's also a neighborhood that's relaxed,
It is.
you know, and I think that's the best part of it. And when you come in to a restaurant like this, you stay for a while. You know, it's not, as I said earlier, it's not one of those quick diners, you know, where people are in and out. And you have the experience, like here, we're having this wonderful barbecue, and you know, it takes time to prepare it. It's a great time to have a conversation, to get to know someone, and I think it's just perfect. Tell me, what is the capacity of the restaurant from upstairs and downstairs? You have 2 levels, which is wonderful.
We can fit about 120 people seated, but a little bit more.
Which is great.
It's a big space.
Yeah. And also, what about catered events? You know, do you cater as well?
We cater to a lot of offices around the area. It's a lot of the tech companies, and then we bring this dish, the bibimbap, which they love. It's healthy, it's gluten-free. A lot of young people are looking for that kind of thing. So, and some of the more exotic meats that we feature occasionally are venison, ostrich. We have brisket now. And we like to see what people like. This is the traditional Korean meal, which would be the meat, the soup, and the rice. So we have a little bit of, the way that our restaurant's a little different, we get a little creative with the appetizers. Koreans don't really have appetizers, so we take Korean ingredients and Korean recipes and we try to make them into smaller bite-sized, you know, sharing plates to start out with, because we know that everybody's used to having, you know, the 3 courses.
Right. So would it be tapas at the bar during happy hour?
We do have a great happy hour menu with small bites. We have barbecue pork ribs, we have crab rolls, beef short rib dumplings, we have roast pork belly buns, and then we also have seasonal cocktails that we switch out.
Seasonally, does the menu change, or is it the same thing year round?
Well, we try to keep the basis the same year round, but then during the winter time we'll add some more soups, because we know it's all really cold and people like soup.
So you have a full bar, which I think is terrific, because you can have whatever you want, you know, during happy hour. You don't necessarily have to have this beautiful lychee cocktail. Julie, this has been a most amazing experience. I mean, the barbecue, the food prepared in the kitchen, the cocktail, the lychee cocktail, my God, unbelievable. 5 words. And you are so special. I can't wait to come back. And I think everyone should come here and have this Korean experience in terms of cuisine. You feel like you're away, you feel like you're in Asia. It's fantastic. I love it. Until next week, I'm Jon Haggins, the Globetrotter, and this is A Taste of New York. So long for now.